Morning. All right, so I think we're at the point where we're going to put the finishing touches on this painting. I took the time to put it in its frame. This is kind of a vintage frame that was picked up, I believe, at a art supply consignment type shop by my mom and gifted to me. So I have a bunch of these frames, some of which have been given to me, some of which I've picked up myself. We have a huge inventory of them. We're slowly kind of working our way through them, and so this painting has a nice frame. I put it in the frame on the easel because I want to make the remaining decisions here with consideration to the frame. Ultimately, you know, whether you consider your paintings to be decorative or not. In essence, to some degree, if they're hanging on a wall, they are. The person that either purchases them or acquires them or you gift them to is going to be, if they choose to hang them on their wall, there's going to be some sort of influence, something that influences their decisions related to how it looks in a particular area. So anyway, just wanted the remaining decisions to kind of be influenced a little bit by the frame itself. The panel that this painting is painted on was cut from a full-size sheet of birch plywood and then gessoed several times. So it was custom made for this frame, which is a little bit of an odd size. I believe it's 22.5 by 18.5. I could be wrong, give or take a quarter inch or whatever. But in any event, we're real close. I like where most of this painting is. I don't have any major adjustments. We're just going to be playing with edges, shifting some values. We might put in some pretty intense highlights on the flowers themselves and maybe on some of the foliage, and we might put a little kind of stylized suggestion of steam coming off of that coffee cup. In real life, I think that cup was probably empty when this reference photo was taken, but this is the reference photo that I used for most of it. I have probably about 7 different reference photos that I took of this bouquet of flowers from a little over a week ago for Valentine's Day. All right, so there's a couple things generally that I'm gonna think through. I might do it out loud, but I'm not gonna be talking a lot. This is my open studio live stream. It's the 30th one. I think I've missed 1, maybe 2 days, so it's been almost 30 consecutive days. I'll probably keep doing it. It's not a lot of effort once you get over the fear of, potentially, making a mistake or doing something goofy or looking weird in front of anywhere from 1 to maybe a couple hundred people, and then having it recorded out there. Once you get over that, it's real easy. You just press a couple buttons and you're on. But in any event, I'll probably keep doing it. It's a good way to kind of force myself to paint before the rest of the day gets going, which is a good thing for me. All right, so let's get started. Couple things. Like I said, I'm going to focus on edges. I'm going to focus on highlights. Anything I could do to enhance the illusion of three-dimensionality, and then from the way the painting reads from 7 to 10 feet away makes it more appealing. That's what I'm going to try and do, and I'll sign it. All right, so I'm going to start with some lower risk. I'm going to bring some more texture and color variation to the ground plane to So the goal is to make it more interesting without it being distracting. I want to leave some of that underpainting coming through. Probably want to soften and kind of shift the color a little bit in the shadows, and then break up this harsh line here a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start with. And I'm going to go with, let's see, I'm going to go with, I have a little bit of raw umber, which I have not used much of at all in this particular painting yet. I'm going to go with a little bit of rain gray. It's a pre-mixed gray, which is on the cooler side. And I'm going to go with cobalt blue. And then I'm going to get some warm white on my palette, quite a bit of it. Oops. Just got a cream color. All right. I'm going to start with my larger brush here. Gray out my warm white just a little bit. Okay. Oops. It's okay. And this light is gonna get picked up just about everywhere. Light, colored light bounces everywhere. If you look closely, you see it, so I just want to honor that. same color on my brush already. I'm going to go into my raw umber and my cobalt blue. And a little bit more white. So we have a grayish, bluish, kind of neutral. Just want to use that to soften the shadow just a little bit. I'm going to get a different brush because need a little more control. Probably put a little warm halo around that and break it up with some additional colors, but I'm also going to look to enhance the suggestion of some of these veins. And I'm going completely off, not really paying attention to my reference photo. When it comes to these patterns, I just want to think in terms of marks that will help enhance the the illusion of three-dimensionality and help draw your eye back through the painting. white and break up some of these lines that I just added. I'm going to get my reference photo up here in a minute, but a couple more things I'll do. Some of this warm white and blue. Pull out certain areas of shadows. This is where a malt stick would be really helpful. After a big cup of coffee, my hand is shaking like crazy, so. I keep telling myself I don't need that, but in reality I probably should invest in one. All right. That's pretty good. Slide up a little bit. I opens that by breaking up that black line in the back where the backsplash meets the counter. It might help that recede a little bit. Just in general, get this cool blue into the ground plane as well. Okay. And maybe here. It's already pretty cool, but cool that off just a little more. Welcome folks, Open Studio live stream number 30, most of which have been consecutive a couple days off here and there, but appreciate you joining. Not a lot of talking or explaining. Probably wrapping up this painting today. All right. So, a couple things I want to do. Pretty happy with where this is. I'm gonna create a little stylized suggestion of steam coming out of that coffee cup, and then I'm gonna put highlights on the flowers. And I think I'm done. I'll leave this kind of hanging around for a bit, and there might be some adjustments that I do, because sometimes when you're working on something for a couple of days, you lose sight of, it's harder to see when there's things that need to be addressed. Sometimes also when you see it in a different light, things will jump out and reveal themselves. Okay. Let me try that. Purposefully left this area a little warmer and left some more severe lines because I figured that would help the steam stand out. Don't want it to be distracting, so I'm going to use probably a little titanium white along with my gray. I'll probably use my fingers for this. I don't want any hard edges. I don't want to overmix this either. So, let's see how this works. Take a couple passages and thinking maybe the best instrument that I have to do this with might be my paper towel itself. I thought maybe it might be my fingers, but let's see. Top of that. So that's the start of that. Want it to be subtle. this warm white reflecting in the handle. White tinted a little warm. We're close to done. I'm going to put a little bit of a warmer halo around those shadows, and then reinforce some of the dark areas, and then I think we're done. Alright, so let's see, get a little bit of my transparent orange oxide, which looks very brown out of the tube. All right. So I'm going to warm up my raw umber and warm white. Just selectively come around the edges of Nice cool shadows. I'm going to use my cobalt blue and my raw umber. A little bit of that orange on there. And work my way into some of these dark areas as well. All right, I think we're gonna call it. I don't know if I can elevate this painting, at least in my current mindset. I might treat this kind of steam coming out of the coffee mug a little bit more. I might play with the shadows a little more. I might put some more highlights on the foliage and the tulips themselves, but for now, this is done. I'm going to go ahead and sign this. Let's see if I can find my small fine point round, which I'll typically sign my larger paintings with. There we go. And I think I'll put a little bit of, let's see, what should I use to sign this? Should I sign it in blue? Might be distracting. I'll probably sign it in a greenish blue. So I got a little bit of my phthalo green yellow mixed in with my grayish blue here. And I'm probably going to sign it in the lower left hand corner. Also get some of my raw umber mixed in there because we don't want this to be too intense. You know, maybe from a distance it'll look like some of the foliage dried up and fell off, but if you look closely it'll be my signature. Oops. this one. Hard to believe February is almost over. All right, there you go. I'll show you from my perspective here, straight on. In its frame. Appreciate you. Huh, interesting. Al Green, appreciate that. How about a series of paintings that details the amounts of strokes to that painting, maybe 15 to 20 paintings? That's interesting. Think about that a little bit. Loretta Binowitz, thanks. Appreciate that. Hi. Sylvia, hi. Des Hurley, hi. So appreciate you taking time to check out my live stream. I'll go ahead and I'll post this painting on my other social media and also put it on my website. Probably put it up for sale, but we'll see. At least want to give my wife at least a little opportunity to enjoy it, hanging around the house for a little bit. It's actually a representation of the bouquet that she got for Valentine's Day. So hope you enjoyed this little flower painting of tulips in a vase with a coffee mug on our counter. And we'll be back again, most likely with any luck, tomorrow with another Open Studio live stream. Unless a real clear idea kind of formulates, we'll probably be doing some sort of abstract stream of consciousness, either a small journal entry or maybe a larger painting like this. We'll see. Thanks again. Take care. Be well.